Achievement unlocked. Bitcoin has hit $50,000 and then some. Now, of course, we've retraced a little bit since then. In fact, right now we're sitting at about $48,400 or so dollars. So it's extremely volatile. Every time we hit a new milestone in the space, this kind of thing happens. You have this very, very violent kind of up and down oscillation. In this case, we didn't quite blast through 50K, we retraced. But, you know, as far as cryptocurrency prices, and let me know if you share the same opinion, it's kind of a binary thing. It's like 0 or 1. Did we or did we not surpass 50K? Yes, we did. Therefore, check mark. And therefore, it's like a foregone conclusion that we'll get there again someday. Even if it's in a month from now, which by the way, I don't think is the case, we'll get there again someday. It's now explored territory. We'll get there again soon. You know, it's a big number. $50,000 is a big number. A lot of people took profit. A lot of people were kind of jumpy when the price started to retrace, but we're still celebrating $50,000. Guys, if you like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and altcoins, of course, be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. Happy Tuesday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. I hope you're celebrating the news as we are. So we're going to run through a lot of the macro news. You know, it probably comes as no surprise, but we're not shocked in the least that Bitcoin has hit $50,000. If anything, the shock is kind of that it's taken this long with some of this positive news. We have some positive altcoin news to discuss as well. We're going to be talking about partnerships at the level of Polygon, previously known as MATIC. Paid Network is in the news. Chainlink and Frontier are in the news. Travala is in the news. They're really warming up to cryptocurrency in more and more ways. We'll take a look at all of that. We'll take a look at Uniswap news as well. But let's kick things off with some of the positive macro developments that have kind of paved the way for this $50,000 Bitcoin. I've talked about this before. I don't want to dwell on it too much. Morgan Stanley, they may make a Bitcoin bet to the tune of $150 billion. That's actually a misleading article. I've seen a lot of different headlines about this, and it's not that Morgan Stanley is looking to invest $150 billion into Bitcoin. It's that their investment division, which in totality amounts to about $150 billion, is looking to dip its toes and gain exposure to Bitcoin. So maybe that investment will be $1 billion, maybe it'll be $5 or $10 billion. It won't be $150 billion. So there's I think some laziness here at the journalism level. I'm surprised on BNN Bloomberg that they're reporting it kind of as is. But you guys see the headline. A US $150 billion Morgan Stanley investing arm known for its prowess in picking growth stocks is considering adding Bitcoin to its list of possible bets. It's actually also possible that they're not mistaken, but they're intentionally misleading you with the headline because it is defensible kind of, you know, if it comes down to splitting hairs, the semantics of it. Anyways, I don't want to get into the murky ethics of journalism, that kind of whole gray zone, but we know this is big news. It's unsurprising. Of course, it's also, you know, just piggybacking on the news that we saw with Uber, that we saw with Amazon, that we saw with other banks, BNY Mellon, for example. So I don't know, it's kind of par for the course. Every bank in the world is eventually getting into Bitcoin, is eventually getting into cryptocurrency. They're doing everything they can now to build up the infrastructure behind the scenes. Whatever bank you use, whether you're in Canada like myself, you're in the US, you're in India, you're in other parts of the world, every bank in the next few years is going to be rolling out services and products. You'll be able to avail yourself of them at your ATM with your teller. It's coming. They're just making sure their ducks are in order. Here's another example out of Japan. SBI in talks to set up cryptocurrency JV, joint venture with foreign financial firms. Of course they are. It's no longer surprising. They're exasperated. They're absolutely frantic because they're playing catch up now. They tried to launch that FUD campaign, a multi-year FUD campaign that exacerbated the bear market. We came back stronger than ever. And, not that, they're caught with their pants down. I was going to use that expression. I'm not sure why. But, they've been caught like maybe asleep at the wheel is a better way to put it. And they're frantically trying to play catch up now. They have no other choice. And, it starts with individuals. It starts with, the retail individuals, Bitcoin miners that were doing it on their own in 2010, 2011, 2012. Very, very small scale, like minnows, guppies, really testing the systems, building up the infrastructure. Then it moved on to more serious investors, maybe family offices, individuals like us that are probably watching and absorbing the news right now. And we saw the progression. We saw it go from that to institutions, now to larger banks and central banks, and mark my words, nation states eventually. It's no coincidence that you have those nations that are having the most difficult time with their currencies and issues of inflation. So I'm talking about Turkey, Venezuela, for example. Iran is another one. So many of these nations and even countries, like, for example, Russia or other countries that have sanctions, not to necessarily advocate or champion any one of those countries and their policies, but from their perspective, yeah, it makes sense. It behooves them to get into cryptocurrency. Everybody is going to be getting into cryptocurrency at the level of individuals, at the level of companies, banks, and nations. Therefore, it's like this game theory. It's almost like a prisoner's dilemma kind of thing. You're going to have to get into it eventually. You may as well step on the gas. Otherwise, you're just going to be outcompeted by those around you. Michael Saylor has been talking about this quite a bit recently. Never F with the winning streak. Crash Davis on Bitcoin. But a little bit more seriously here, in a recent, from about a week ago, CNN interview, Bitcoin buyers, and this was in the context of the Tesla news and MicroStrategy's earnings just continuing to soar like into the stratosphere. But, Michael Saylor with this quote, I think this is a trend that's going to run for the next decade because of exactly what I just alluded to, that game theory environment that, not only individuals, but now that banks and corporations and ultimately countries are going to start to feel. We've seen news about Nigeria banning cryptocurrencies, banning Bitcoin, but then, the counterpoint to that is the fact that South Africa is totally embracing them. We saw the same thing with India and Pakistan. India banning cryptocurrencies, at least that's their kind of public message, ostensibly. But then Pakistan actively using their funds, their resources, their energy to mine Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Same thing with Ukraine. Ukraine diverting nuclear power resources to mine Bitcoin. Don't forget about their CBDC, their national currency that they're also implementing with help from Stellar. This is happening at the most macro of macro levels. So you better believe that this is a trend that's going to run for a decade. Raoul Pal here, also commenting on the phenomenon. Remember that as the market cap of Bitcoin rises, it forces more institutions into it. The more institutions that adopt it, the more the others have to, and the harder it is for regulators to stop it. A perfect reflexive loop with the little guy front running it all. Bravo, everyone. In other words, it's a perfect virtuous cycle. The more attention and the more adulation, the more adoption Bitcoin gets, the more people get into it. And then as a result, the more attention and adulation and adoption Bitcoin gets. It's very simple. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. I think it's, this is hardly breaking news. This is hardly an original opinion. This is now kind of becoming almost like a mainstream economic law. We can see the writing on the wall. We know what's going to happen. But, let me know your thoughts about it, especially if you disagree. I love dissent, and I'm always happy to spark up a conversation. If you have an informed opinion, if you're just going to be trash talking, I don't really care for that. But if you have an informed opinion and some intelligent points about why I may be incorrect or why this perspective doesn't jive with you, then let me know. Let's now get into some altcoin updates here, beginning with Chainlink, at Chainlink on Twitter from a couple days ago. Finance, a cross-chain swap protocol built on Polkadot, will integrate Chainlink's price feeds to enable users to build automated trading strategies. Chainlink's high-quality data and hyper-reliable network protects users from faulty trade executions. This is actually from yesterday, so my mistake. Not quite as old a tweet as I had perhaps thought originally. You can read more about this here on medium.com if the page ever loads. There we go. Finance to integrate Chainlink oracles to price swaps on its cross-chain DEX decentralized exchange. MATIC Network, that's the name that it was formerly known as. It's now rebranding as Polygon. They're in the news. Check out the new Twitter handle as well, at 0x Polygon, delighted to announce that DIA data orgs, open source data, and oracles are now live on Polygon. The transparent, community-verified price oracles are a huge boost to the DeFi ecosystem on Polygon. Here on altcoinbuzz.io, which you can see now reflects our new branding on the website. Very, very snazzy indeed. Here with this story is Rachel. MATIC Network revamps as Polygon. MATIC Network expands its vision, mission, and technology scope, becoming Polygon, Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains. And relating to that partnership news is this article here on medium.com. We are delighted, says DIA, to announce the start of a close partnership with MATIC. Again, now Polygon. It's a little bit confusing, but this from back in November, actually, so they have a pretty good excuse. DIA will bring transparent and community-verified price oracles to the MATIC ecosystem, and in addition, DIA Labs will support MATIC's Build and Earn program with micro grants to help teams leverage transparent data feeds. Paid Network here is also in the news. We recently published an opinion on Twitter that Paid Network is one to watch. Never financial advice, of course. But these really are some of the best guys out there working on a project that we feel is one of the best out there in the space, and thus it is on our radar. Just our subjective opinion. Again, not financial advice, but we feel that Paid Network is one to watch. So they have this update from just a few hours ago. We are incredibly excited to announce that Split Core has committed to ignition launch. Split is a tier 1 project powered by Polkadot that serves as the NFT infrastructure for e-commerce and finance markets. Learn more and whitelist via the link. Check it out here on medium.com. Split, the next gen e-commerce supply chain powered by Polkadot, launches IDO on Ignition. Plutus is in the news here. We haven't talked about Plutus in a while, but they're busy as ever from a few hours ago. One of the world's first crypto funds, Alphabet Limited. That's not alphabet as in Google Alphabet, so just note the distinction there, but still very serious and a major player. They've made a significant strategic investment in PLU, hashtag institutional money, hashtag bank on crypto. I like that, hashtag bank on crypto, absolutely. On medium.com, press release, institutional investment into world's first crypto rewards token, Pluton, PLU, from Alphabet Fund. Kudos and congratulations. Hopefully more to follow. Frontier here at frontier.xyz. Frontier partners with Travala.com to enable Front, that's FRONT holders, to book over 2.2 million hotels and homes, buy from 600 plus airlines, participate in 40,000 plus activities, and all of this in 230 plus countries powered by Travala.com. That is awesome, and Travala just exposing themselves more and more to the world of cryptocurrency. I think about it this way. Right now, travel, of course, is a depressed industry that likely affects, well, it certainly affects hotels, it affects airlines, it affects any, kind of hub that's known for its tourism. It likely also affects travel websites, like Travala, like Booking.com, that are involved in cryptocurrency. And then from their perspective, I think that this is just a great strategic move. They say, you know what, look, we have nothing to lose. If anything, let's kind of bring more people into the space by offering them the ability to pay for our services with cryptocurrencies. And that kind of checks two boxes. That's like a double win in my opinion, because it attracts those new clients that may not otherwise be looking to make a transaction on Travala.com. And number two, it allows them to accrue an asset that is deflationary, that's going to appreciate in value over time. So it's a brilliant strategic move, business move, in my opinion. And Travala.com, really is going to reap the benefits of that very soon and reap the rewards very soon. These guys have, it's not just a few cryptos, that in this case Front, and it's not as if they have Front and, oh yeah, we also accept Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum. It's they have dozens of cryptocurrencies that you can pay with. And it seems like it's a catalog that's being added to every day. So I think that Travala.com right now is kind of building up this infrastructure while the industry is still depressed. They're making the right moves while things are kind of slow. And then eventually, hopefully, but eventually once things open back up and people are flying again, people are booking hotel and car rentals and moving around the world, Travala is going to be poised to perform really, really well. I think their returns on these decisions are going to be exceptional. That's kind of my just armchair, business strategy outlook on what they're doing. But I think it's brilliant. Kudos to them. Let me know your thoughts about that, guys, in the comments below. Uniswap news here. Uniswap just became the first decentralized trading platform to process over $100 billion in volume. Certainly an exciting milestone for DeFi. Absolutely. You can read more about that here on Cointelegraph.com. Uniswap reaches 100 bill in cumulative volume amid DeFi's explosion. It actually went even higher, $101.5 billion on Monday. That's according to data from Dune Analytics. And finally here for today, we've been posting a lot of meme videos lately. Hope you've been enjoying them. They're certainly a lot of fun. And the better the market does, the more of them that come out, which I think is a positive indicator for sure. Not a meme here, but very cute. If you have friends, family members, acquaintances reaching out to you about Bitcoin, asking about it, how do I buy it? What's it all about here? What's this blockchain? What are these altcoins I keep hearing about? This is pretty cool, courtesy of Michael Saylor. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand Bitcoin. BTC is explained here by a 3-year-old. So I'll link to this in the description below. And again, for those family members, for those friends that are reaching out to you that are maybe coming around to crypto and Bitcoin for the first time, share this with them, because it's encouraging, it's cute, it's funny, it's at a level that everybody can kind of understand, and it's meant to be approachable exactly for those reasons. So check it out. We'll link to that in the description below. And that is it for today, everybody. Let me know below, once we kind of get back up above $50,000 for Bitcoin, which I imagine is going to happen, if not today, later this week, but I'm in no rush. What do you think the next milestone is? Do you think Bitcoin is going to steal the show? Do you think it's going to suck up some of these recent gains that we've been seeing in altcoins? I think there's a chance, because if Bitcoin continues to rise and then we get over that psychological hurdle, that $50,000 barrier, people are going to start talking about 60K, 70K, 75K. And we may see a shift toward Bitcoin. We may see a rising Bitcoin dominance, at least for the next little while, the next few days or week or two. We'll see. But, that's the beauty of this space. We're all pioneers. We're all exploring collectively for the first time. So we'll have to discover together. And guys, in order to keep up with all the news, as you know, it is never ending. Be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into our brand spanking new and rebranded website, altcoinbuzz.io. That's where you'll get all the latest. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck, guys, if you choose to invest on this Tuesday. Have a great one, and we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.